Most men think they know what they are doing with their hands. But here is something that might surprise you. After years of working with couples in my practice, I can tell you that the majority of men are using techniques that are either too rough, too fast, or completely missing the areas that matter most. And the women, they rarely speak up about it. They might not want to hurt their partner's feelings, or they may assume their own bodies are just difficult to please. So the pattern just continues month after month, year after year, leaving both partners frustrated and disconnected, feeling like there is a wall between them that they cannot quite break down. I am Dr. Lucy Stone, a urologist who has spent over a decade helping men understand female anatomy in ways that actually improve intimacy. And today we're going to talk about something that rarely gets discussed openly, but desperately needs to be: how to use your hands in a way that truly satisfies your partner, respects her body, and builds the kind of trust that makes intimacy feel natural and deeply connected. This is not about tricks or gimmicks. This is about understanding how a woman's body actually works, what it needs to respond, and how your hands, when used correctly, can become one of the most powerful ways to create real lasting pleasure, the kind that resonates long after the physical moment has passed. If you have ever felt unsure, awkward, or like you were just guessing your way through, you are not alone. Most men never received proper guidance on this, and our culture is often saturated with unrealistic portrayals of female pleasure that prioritize performance over genuine connection. But by the end of this guide, you will know exactly what to do, why it works, and how to read your partner's signals so you can adjust in real time, transforming uncertainty into confident, shared exploration. Let me start with something that might sound simple, but is often completely overlooked. Before your hands ever touch your partner in an intimate way, they need to be prepared. I am talking about cleanliness, safety, and respect. Your nails should be trimmed short and filed smooth. Any rough edges, hangnails, or jagged spots can cause tiny tears in delicate tissue, leading to discomfort, irritation, or even infection, turning a moment of potential connection into one of subtle pain. Wash your hands thoroughly with warm water and unscented soap. Scrub under your nails, between your fingers, and along your palms. Remove any rings, bracelets, or jewelry that could scratch or snag. This is not just about hygiene. It is about showing your partner that you care enough to take her comfort seriously. When she sees that you have thought ahead, that you have prepared yourself, it sends a message. You are safe. You are thoughtful. You are someone she can relax with. Keep a bottle of unscented water-based lubricant nearby, even if she seems naturally wet. Adding lubricant reduces friction, prevents irritation, and makes every touch smoother and more enjoyable, a simple act that speaks volumes about your priorities. Never assume that natural wetness means she is ready for everything. Arousal and lubrication are not the same thing. One is a physical response that can sometimes be inconsistent, while the other is a holistic state of being. Lubrication helps, but readiness is emotional and physical, and it takes time. Now, here is where most men make their first mistake. They move too quickly. They go straight for the most sensitive areas without giving her body time to catch up. But arousal in women does not work like a light switch. It is more like a slow sunrise. It builds gradually layer by layer, and it requires your full attention and patience. Start far away from the genitals. Kiss her slowly. Let your lips move from her mouth to her neck down to her collarbone across her shoulders. Run your hands gently along her back, her sides, the curve of her hips. Touch her outer thighs, her knees, even her ankles. The goal here is not to tease in a frustrating way. It is to wake up her entire nervous system, to let blood flow increase throughout her body, and to signal to her brain that this is a safe, pleasurable experience, free from pressure or expectation. As you move closer to the inner thighs, slow your rhythm even more. This is where anticipation builds. Trace your fingers lightly along the crease where her thigh meets her pelvis. Let your palm rest gently over her vulva, even with her underwear still on, applying a warm, steady pressure. Then lift it away. Move back to her stomach, her ribs, her breasts. This back and forth motion, this dance of approach and retreat, increases blood flow to the clitoris, the labia, and the vaginal opening, making everything far more responsive and alive when you finally do touch those areas directly. When she is ready, and only when she clearly agrees through her words or an unmistakable, eager shift in her body, you can begin touching bare skin. Start with the outer lips. These are the larger, fleshier folds that frame the vulva. Use your fingertips to trace their outline, moving slowly from top to bottom and back again. Pay attention to her breathing. Is it getting deeper? Is she leaning into your touch or pulling away slightly? Is there a soft sigh or a subtle arch of her back? These signals will guide you far more accurately than any preset script. After spending time on the outer lips, you can move inward to the inner lips. These are thinner, more delicate, and often more sensitive. Use light, feather-soft strokes here. Do not press hard. Do not rush. Just let your fingers glide gently along their length. You are not trying to create intense sensation yet. You are simply letting her body know that more is coming and that it is safe to open up, to be vulnerable, and to receive pleasure. Now, let us talk about the clitoris. This is the single most sensitive structure in the entire female body. It has over 8,000 nerve endings packed into a tiny area. That is more than double the number found in the head of the penis. So when you touch it, especially at first, you need to be incredibly gentle. Most women do not want direct clitoral contact right away. It can feel too intense, even painful, if her arousal has not built up enough. Instead, start by touching around the clitoral hood. This is the small fold of skin that covers the clitoris when it is not aroused. Think of it as a protective layer. You can trace small circles around it, move side to side, or draw gentle ovals. The key is to stay light and steady. Do not change your rhythm suddenly. Do not press harder without checking in. Consistency is what allows her body to build sensation without being overwhelmed, to ride a wave of pleasure that grows from a gentle hum to a powerful crescendo. As she becomes more aroused, the clitoris will swell slightly and may become more visible. Some women will want more direct touch at this point, while others will still prefer indirect stimulation. The only way to know is to ask. Use short, simple questions. Does this feel good? Do you want more pressure? Should I go softer, higher, lower? These questions do not kill the mood. They are the mood. They show that you are paying attention and that her experience matters to you, transforming a one-sided act into a true dialogue. When it comes to patterns, most women prefer something predictable rather than random movements. Try circling slowly around the clitoral hood in one direction, then reversing. Or move from the top down and back up again in a smooth, steady rhythm. You can also try figure-8 motions, covering both the clitoris and the area just above it. If she likes broader contact, use 2 fingers pressed together. If she prefers focused touch, stick with 1 fingertip. Remember, natural wetness is a sign that her body is responding, but it does not always mean she is ready for internal stimulation. Always ask before inserting a finger. Say something simple like, "Do you want me inside?" or "Can I touch you here?" Wait for a clear, enthusiastic yes. Consent is not just a one-time thing. It is an ongoing conversation, especially as you move into more intimate territory. If she says yes, add lubricant to your fingers, even if she seems wet. This ensures smooth entry and reduces any chance of friction, which can instantly pull her out of the moment. Start with 1 finger. Never go in dry. Glide slowly into the vaginal opening and pause. Let her muscles adjust. The vaginal canal is not just an empty space. It is made of flexible muscular tissue that needs time to relax and expand, to welcome you in. Once your finger is inside, do not thrust in and out like you might see in movies. That is not what most women find pleasurable. Instead, use a gentle come here motion with your fingertip, curling it slightly towards the front wall of the vagina. This wall, the one closest to her belly, is where you will find an area of slightly spongy, textured tissue that many women find especially sensitive. Some people call it the G-spot, though it is more accurate to think of it as a sensitive zone rather than a single spot, an internal landscape that responds to patient exploration. As you explore this area, move your fingers slowly. Go up a little, down a little, left, right. Pay attention to how she responds. Does she tense up? Does she push her hips toward you? Does her breathing change? These are your cues. If she tenses or pulls back, stop. Withdraw slightly or go back to external touch. If she leans in or makes sounds of pleasure, you are on the right track. You do not need to press hard. Many women prefer steady, repeated strokes with moderate pressure rather than strong ones. Think of it like massaging a sore muscle. You want to apply enough pressure to be felt, but not so much that it becomes uncomfortable. And remember, your other hand is still free. Use it to hold her hip, caress her stomach, or continue stimulating her clitoris with your thumb. This blended stimulation, both internal and external, at the same time, is what brings many women to orgasm, creating a symphony of sensation that can be profoundly powerful. If she wants more fullness, you can add a second finger, but do not just shove it in. Twist your hand slightly so your fingers are pressed together. Add more lubricant and slide in slowly. Keep your fingers curved so they maintain contact with that front wall. Inside, continue using small arcs or that gentle, come here, motion. On the outside, keep your thumb or other hand moving on or around the clitoris. Coordination takes practice, but once you find a rhythm that works, it becomes second nature. As her arousal builds, you will notice stronger signals. Her hips may start moving against your hand. Her breathing may become faster or louder. Her thighs might tremble slightly. When you find the right pressure and pace, do not change it. This is critical. If she says, right there, treat those words like a command. Hold that exact rhythm, that exact pressure, that exact angle until she finishes. Many orgasms are lost because the person giving stimulation gets excited and speeds up or changes the pattern at the last second, inadvertently derailing the very peak they were helping to build. Let me share a few variations that many women enjoy. One is called hood strokes. Use 2 fingers in a V shape, one on each side of the clitoral hood. Slide them gently up and down, letting the hood move with your fingers without exposing the clitoris directly. This creates indirect stimulation that can feel incredibly good without being too intense. Another technique is the outer to inner wave. Start by gliding your hand from her outer thighs to her inner thighs, then to the labia, then back out again. This resets sensitivity and prevents any one area from becoming overstimulated or numb. It also gives her body a chance to breathe and build anticipation again, reminding her that pleasure is a journey, not a destination. You can also try a pressure hold. Rest your warm palm over her entire vulva with gentle, steady pressure. Do not move, just hold. This is calming, grounding, and can be especially soothing between peaks of arousal or after an orgasm. It tells her body that it is safe, that there is no rush, and that you are fully present, connected not just through motion, but through stillness. If you want to make internal stimulation easier, place a pillow under her hips. This tilts her pelvis slightly upward, making the front vaginal wall more accessible. It also takes pressure off her lower back and allows her to relax more fully. Small adjustments like this can make a huge difference in comfort and pleasure, demonstrating a practical attentiveness that she will undoubtedly notice. Now, let me talk about safety and hygiene during the act itself. If at any point you move from touching her anus back to touching her vagina, you must wash your hands thoroughly or use a fresh glove. The bacteria from the anal area can cause infections if introduced into the vagina. This is not optional. It is a basic, non-negotiable rule of safe, respectful touch. If she feels burning, stinging, or sharp pain, stop immediately. Add more lubricant and return to external touch. Sharp pain is always a warning sign. It could mean she is not aroused enough, that there is dryness, or that something else is wrong. Warm stretching or pressure might be fine if she says so, but sharp, sudden pain is never okay. Listen to her words and her body. They are always telling you the truth. After she has an orgasm, or if she signals that she is done, do not just stop and walk away. Keep touching her gently, but reduce the intensity. Many women feel extremely sensitive right after climax, so direct clitoral touch might be too much. Instead, stroke her thighs, her belly, her ribs. Run your fingers through her hair. Hold her. This aftercare is just as important as everything that came before it. It tells her that this was not just about getting her off. It was about being with her, caring for her, and honoring her experience. Offer her a glass of water. Intimacy is physically taxing, and hydration helps her body recover. Later, when you are both calm, ask one simple question. What did you like most? Do not ask what she did not like. Focus on the positive. Her answer will give you real actionable feedback that you can use next time. That is your guidebook, not a manual written by someone else. Her voice, her body, her truth, that is your most valuable resource. Here is something important to remember. Not every woman orgasms from internal stimulation. Some women prefer clitoral focus alone. Others enjoy a combination of both. Some need a specific rhythm or pressure that takes time to find. And some women simply do not climax from manual stimulation at all. And that is completely normal. Your job is not to force an outcome. Your job is to listen, observe, adjust, and create an environment where pleasure is possible, in whatever form it takes. There is also an emotional component here that cannot be ignored. When a woman feels safe, valued, and unhurried, her body responds differently. Her blood vessels relax. Her muscles soften. Her nervous system switches from stress mode to rest mode. This is when real arousal happens. This is when her body opens up. Your patience, your attention, your respect, these are not just nice qualities. They are physiological tools that directly affect her capacity for pleasure. So many men think that technique is everything. They believe that if they just learn the right moves, everything will work. But the truth is, your hands are only as effective as the trust and connection behind them. If she feels rushed, judged, or pressured to perform, her body will not cooperate no matter how skilled your fingers are. But if she feels seen, heard, and cared for, even simple touch can become extraordinary. Let me also say this. It is okay to feel awkward at first. It is okay to ask questions. It is okay to admit that you do not know everything. In fact, that honesty is one of the most attractive qualities you can bring into the bedroom. When you say, "I want to learn what feels good for you," you are telling her that her experience matters more than your ego and that more than any technique is what builds real intimacy. As you practice these techniques, remember that every woman is different. What works for one partner may not work for another. Some women like firm pressure. Others prefer barely their touch. Some enjoy fast rhythms. Others need slow, steady consistency. The only way to know is to stay present, stay curious, and stay open to feedback. This is not a skill you master once and then repeat forever. It is a conversation that changes and grows with every partner, every encounter, every moment. If you found this guide helpful, I encourage you to share it with someone who values real respectful intimacy advice. And if you want to support your own performance, circulation, and confidence, consider looking into natural supplements that support blood flow and hormonal balance. These can help you show up as your best self both physically and emotionally so that when you are with your partner, you can be fully present, fully engaged, and fully connected. Your hands hold more power than you realize. Not because of strength or speed, but because of care, attention, and respect. When you touch your partner with intention, when you listen to her body, when you prioritize her comfort and pleasure, you are not just creating a physical experience. You are building trust, you are deepening connection, and you are showing her that she is valued not just for what she can give, but for who she is. So tonight or whenever you are with your partner next, slow down, prepare yourself, ask questions, pay attention, And remember that the most powerful thing you can do is not to perform, but to be present. Because when you are truly there, when you are truly listening, your hands become instruments of care, connection, and real lasting pleasure.